Hey guys, Aaron here. Today we're going to be replacing the brake booster in a Nissan Titan. These procedures will work 2004 through 2015 on the first gen Nissan Titans and Armadas. This particular truck is a 2006 with about 111,000 miles on it. Now what we're experiencing here is the ABS pump is being activated upon light braking, and it's very intermittent, so it's hard to catch. And basically what's happening is that there's two sensors within the brake booster itself that measure the travel of the brake pedal, and those sensors have gone bad intermittently, so we will get some activation of the ABS pump. And we also have C1179, which is an ABS fault code for the brake booster going bad. One thing to note is that it's not necessary to remove the wipers and the cowl assembly above the brake booster. A lot of guys are doing that. It's actually a lot easier to remove the AC line right here, which I'll show you a little bit. It's going to save you a lot of time and make the job a lot easier. Before we begin, let's go ahead and go over the parts and tools we're going to need to get the job done. So we'll need an 8mm socket, a 10mm socket, a 12mm socket, and a 13, some needle nose pliers, a good 6-inch extension, a 1/4-inch ratchet, and a 3/8 ratchet. And of course we'll need a new brake booster assembly as well. I purchased this directly from Nissan online. Go ahead and follow a link in the description of where you can purchase this part for a good price. So the first thing to do is remove the air intake system. This is, like I said before, an aftermarket cold air intake system, so yours might look a little bit differently. Using a 10mm and an 8mm socket, let's go ahead and remove that now. So next thing, using a 10mm socket and a 12mm socket, let's go ahead and loosen up the ABS control unit and the master cylinder with the two nuts that attach the master cylinder to the brake booster assembly. Cylinder and ABS unit kind of pulled forward a couple inches, gives us a little bit better access to our brake booster itself. Next, let's go ahead and remove the sensor that goes to the brake booster, the connector, and the hose that supplies vacuum to the booster itself. Now there's two sensors that attach to the brake booster itself, and to remove the connectors, it could be kind of difficult. You're going to have to pinch each side of the connector and pull away, and it'll come off. You might have to get a flat blade screwdriver or a pick to help you depress. They don't really make these connectors easy to get your fingers around, so simply depress and they'll kind of come out. Once that's off, go ahead and remove the 10mm nut that holds the AC line onto the cowl. That allows us to drop it out of the way, so when we remove our brake cylinder, we can move this AC line a little bit. Now here we are underneath the footwell of the driver's seat, and there's 4 nuts that we're going to need to remove right up here that hold our brake booster onto our firewall, and then there's a rod that goes to the brake pedal. As you can see, I'm moving it, and we're going to need to undo the clip that holds that pin into that rod, so we can go ahead and take our brake booster out after that. Using just some needle nose pliers, you can remove that clip and push that pin out. All right, so now that we got all that hardware removed, our brake booster is loose and kind of ready to come out. Let's go ahead and remove one more nut that holds this bracket to the firewall so we can get this over a little bit to make room for our brake booster. All right, so we got our old booster out and we have our new one sitting right here. Now it's time to install the new little clevis that Nissan has supplied. Make sure when you install this that it's at the same depth on the rod that your old one came out. That's gonna make sure that your brake pedal is properly adjusted when we go to test drive this thing. Once you've set the height correctly, go ahead, take a screwdriver and put it into there. And then all we're gonna do is just lock this jam nut so it never moves. Now it's ready for install. One little tip, I like to take a piece of metal and hold the brake pedal because there's a bracket, that metal bracket that the 4 nuts go onto likes to move around when you're putting the booster back in, and a piece of metal or wood will hold that in place. See, I have it propped up here just to keep it in place. If you have 2 people, you'd have somebody hold the brake pedal while you put that in. It's a lot easier, but if not, this works too. Now that we have all 4 nuts installed, it's time to put that little pin back into the brake pedal. So now that our new booster is installed and secured, it's time to put everything back in pretty much reverse procedure, starting with the AC line and the brackets involved with it. the last thing that we need to do is access the DTCs in the ABS control module using a scanner. What we're going to do is we're going to clear any present codes that could have came from our faulty brake booster. So as you can see, we have C1179. We're going to go ahead and clear those codes. Now let's go ahead and take it on a test drive to see if these codes come back. Alright guys, so I just got done with the test drive and the truck definitely feels a lot better. No more activation of the ABS pump when braking at lower speeds. So I hope this video has helped you out. If it has, please like and subscribe. Make sure to check the link in the description for where you can get your brake booster for a pretty good price. So hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching as always. See you next time.